The Best Christmas Present in the World by Michael Morpurgo. Introduction. There are some dates or periods of the time in the history of the world that are so significant that everyone knows and remembers them. The story you will read mentions one such date and event, a war between the British and Germans in 1940. Let's get towards the main story. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridgeport, a rolled up desk. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. So basically oak is a type of a plant. Yes. I had wanted one, but they are very far too expensive. Expensive means costly. This one was in bad condition. So this one, which he has found, was in bad condition. The rolled out desk in several pieces, one leg clumsily mended, scotch marks all down one side. It was going for very little money. I thought I could restore it. I would be at a risk. It would be at a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on the Christmas Eve. Basically, what is Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve is 25th, sorry, 24th Jan. Jan होता है या फिर December? 24th December. I removed the roll-top desk completely and pulled out the drawers. The vinyl had lifted almost everywhere. Looked like water damage to me. Both fire and water had clearly taken their toll on this desk. The last rod was stuck fast. I tried all I could to ease it out gently in the end. I used brute force. Particularly, what is brute? So basically, the meaning of brute is hard or heavy force. Hmm. I struck. Struck means shut. It's shut or to by taking it to the wrist you मतलब इंग्लिश सुनना हिंदी में हम लोग उसे बोलते हैं खींचना यस हर कोई बोलता है खींचना I struck it sharply with one side my fist and drawer flew open revealed a shallow space underneath a secret drawer. Okay, so there was inside that column there was a secret drawer, a type of a secret drawer. So that's nice. Secret drawer. There was something in there. I reached it in and took out a small black tin box. There. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. Cello taped to the top of it was a piece of lined note paper and written on it shaky handwriting or we can say cursive handwriting. इंडिया में तो cursive ही बोलते हैं फॉरेन में बोलते हैं okay let's move on cursive handwriting we can say shaky handwriting. Jim's last letter received 20 January 25th 1915 to be buried with me when the time comes. I knew as I did it was wrong of me to open the box, but curiosity curiosity got the better of the scruples. Scruples means feeling that make you hesitate. or to do something wrong. It usually does. Inside the box there was an envelope. The address read Mrs. Jim McPherson, 12 Copper Bridges, Bridgeport, Dorset. So this is actually the address of the lady called the Jim McPherson. Okay. I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at top December 26, 1940. Okay. Dear Ernest Connie, I write to you in a much happier frame of mind because something wonderful just happened and I must tell you at once. Okay, we were all standing in our trenches. Trenches mean the long deep ditches in which soldiers usually used to hide from the enemy. The trenches. Yesterday morning, Christmas morning, Christmas morning, it was crisp and quite all about a beautiful morning as I have ever seen, as cold and frosty as a Christmas morning should be. Okay, I should like to be able to tell you we began it, but the truth I ashamed to say is that Fritz began it. Fritz is actually a name of the enemy team's soldier or the German soldier. Okay, are you getting that? So basically, is that here written is that comfort is that Fritz began it first. Someone saw it, a white flag waving from trenches. Trenches means I already told places of hiding of the soldiers from their enemy. Trenches opposite. Then they were calling out us from across no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy. So basically, Tommy is a English or the British soldier name here. Tommy, Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, "Same to you, Fritz, same to you." I thought that would be that. That means he thought that this would be that much only, but that was not that. Okay. Hmm. We all did. But then, suddenly, a white flag. "Don't shoot, lads!" someone shouted, and no one did. Then there was another Fritz up on the parapet, and another. "Keep your heads down," I told men. It's a trick, but it wasn't. One of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head. "It's a Christmas day, Tommy. We have schnapps." Basically, schnapps means okay. Schnapps is a type of a grain which was being made from the grains such as wines. Yes, do you remember wines? These are schnapps. Okay, schnapps. Cool name. Schnapps. Schnapps. Okay, we have schnapps. We have sausage. So sausage is a type of type of a thing which uh, we used to say it like that. Sausage is a type of a roll or the hot dog type something is that sausage. We meet you. Yes. By this time there were dozens of them walking towards us across no man's land and not a rifle between them. Little Private Maurice was the first up. Come on, boys! What we are waiting for? And then there was no one stopping them. I was the officer. I should have stopped them there and then. I suppose, but the truth is that it never even occurred to me I should. All along their line, and ours I could see, and ours I could see. So basically, he is talking about I could see men walking slowly towards one another, grey coats, khaki coats, meeting in the middle, and I was one of them. I was part of this. In the middle of the war, we were making peace. You cannot imagine, dearest Connie, my feelings as I looked into the eyes of this officer who approached me, hand outstretched, hands full. He said, gripping my hand warmly and holding it, I am from Dusseldorf. I play cello in orchestra. Cello means cello is a type of a musical instrument, like a large violin. Do you know what is a violin? Which our Saraswati Bach holds. So cello is a large violin, a type of a large violin in the orchestra. Happy Christmas. Okay, fine. Captain Jim MacPherson, I replied, and a happy Christmas to you. I'm school teacher from Dorset in the west of England. England is a country which ruled India for more than 200 years. So you all know it. At Dorset, he smiled. I know this place, I knew it very well. We shared my blood, nation, and his excellent sausage. And we take Coney how we talked he spoke almost perfect English. But it turned out that he had never set foot indoors and never ever been to England. He had learned all New England from England from school and from reading books in English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite books far from the madding crowd. Okay. Oh, that is nice. So basically, madding crowd is a type of a book you all know. Many of you have read it. Hmm. So out there in no man's land, we talk of Bathsheba and Gabriel O. Singer's Troy. अरे मेरे से क्या मीटिंग करेगा तू पता है मैं कभी वीडियो so basically here his favorite so basically here they were talking to Bathsheba, Gabriel O, and Singer Toy and Dorset. Dorset is the name of a person. Okay? Dorset he had a wife and one son. Okay, according to this book, the Dorset has a one wife and a son. Okay, let's continue. One wife and a son. Born just 6 months ago, as I looked about me, there were hundreds of khaki and grey everywhere. Over no man's land, smoking, laughing, talking, drinking, eating handsfuls, and I shared what was left for wonderful Christmas cake. Connie, he thought that the marzipan. So basically, marzipan is a type of sweet, covering the cake. So all of you know what is cake. Marzipan is the cream. You know above the cake there is a cream layer of cream which we all like to eat, on which we all take in three fingers and rub to the birthday boy or the girl's face. That is marzipan. Was the best he had ever tasted. I agreed. We agreed about everything, and he was my enemy. There never was a Christmas party like it, Pony. Then someone I don't know who got out a football great court. We were dumped into piles to make goalposts, and the next thing we knew it was Tommy against Blitz. Out in the middle of no man's land, Hans Wolf and I looked on and cheered, clapping our hands and stamping our feet to keep out the cold as much as anything. There was a moment when I noticed our breath smuggling in the air between us. He saw it too and smiled. Jim McPherson, he said after a while, I think this was how we should resolve this war. A football match, no one died in a football match. No children are all faint. No wives become widows. True, true. I वैसे मूवी तो झूठ है मेरा तो कई बार हुआ. I deeply felt. Take it, I told him. Then we Tommy's could be sure of winning probably. We laughed at that and together we watched the game. Sad to say, Tony Fritz won 2 goals to 1. But as Handful generally said, our goal was wider than theirs. So it wasn't quite far. The time came, and all too soon, when the game was finished, the snaps. सर सर मेरा आइडिया ये है आप बताओ तो क्या ठीक है. So basically, here he told the snaps and then the sausage had long time since run out, and we knew it was all over. I wished Hans well and told him I hoped he would see his family again soon. The fighting would end and we could all go home. I think that is what every soldier wants on both sides, Hans full side. Take care, Jim McPherson. I shall never forget this moment, nor you. I saluted and walked away from me. He saluted and walked away from me slowly, unwillingly. I left. He turned to wave just once, and then came one of the hundreds of grey-coated men drifting back towards their trenches. That night, back into the dugouts. Dugouts means dugout is a type of shelter made for soldiers by digging a hole in ground and covering it. Yeah, dugouts. The, the night back in our dugouts, we heard them singing a carol and singing it quite beautifully. It was still night, silent night. Our bus gave them a rousing chorus of white shepherd's words. We exchanged carols for a while, and then we all fell silent. We had our time of peace and goodwill, a time I would treasure as long as I live. Dearest Connie, by Christmas next year, this wall would be nothing but a distance and a terrible memory. I know from all that happened today how much you both and me long for peace. We shall be together again soon, I am sure of it. Your loving Jim. So this was the letter. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into the envelope. The narrator kept awake all night, but morning he knew what he had to do. He drove into the Bridgeport just a few miles away. He asked why it's his dog where Copper Bridges was. House number 12 turned into nothing but a burned out shell, the roof gaping, the windows boarded up, and knocked to the house next to the door and asked if anyone knew whereabouts about Mrs. Macpherson. Oh yes, said the old man in his slippers. He he knew her. He said the old man knew her. A lovely old lady. He told me a bit muddled headed, but at her age she was entitled to be, wasn't she? 101 years old. She had been in the house when it caught fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could have been candles. Okay. She used candles rather than electricity because she always thought electricity was too expensive. The fireman had got her out just in time. She was nursing home now and told me Burlingham on Dorchester Road on the other side of the town. Okay. How I found Burlington nursing home easily enough. Okay. There were paper chains up in the hallway and lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angel on top. I said I was friend. Okay, he said that he was a friend. Okay, I said I was a friend. Come to visit Mac person to be the Christmas present. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The matron had a hat and two and seemed happy enough to see me. She offered me a mince pie. She walked up and the colonel was okay. Others MacPherson's not in ours. She told me rather she's confused. That so that it best if she had a good rest. She has no family, no one visits, so I'm sure she will be too pleased to see you. She took me conversely, okay, conversely with visual chairs and potted plants all around and left me. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded into lap. She had silver white hair pinned into wispy bun. She had gazing out at the garden. Hello, I said. She turned and looked me up at vacantly. Happy Christmas, Connie. I went on. I found this. I think it's yours. I was speaking. Her never. Her eyes left my face. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up. So little means became bright with happiness and excitement, later with a faint recognition and her suffers with sudden glow of happiness. So suffered means to spread all over the face. Suffers with a sudden glow of happiness. I explained about the desk, about how I found it, but I don't think she was listening for a while. She said nothing. She stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. She told me, you'd come home But Christmas, dearest, she said. And here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down. I sat down beside her. Actually, the lady was thinking that Michael was Jim, but actually he was Michael, not Jim. The Jim has been टाई हो गया टाई हो गया sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. I read a letter soft and Jim every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. And now you are back to now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Would you do that? Call me Jim dear. I just want to hear her voice again. I did like so much. So I perhaps we have gone some and I made a nice Christmas cake marzipan all around. I know how much I love marzipan by Michael Malfogo. So basically the story is depended on the rolled up desk, the secret letter, and the story of Christmas in Northern. Some of you would ask me, so why there is a story of that old lady? So they are telling the story of the secret letter after completing the story of the Christmas land in between it. So I hope you like this video. So please make sure to like, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.